How's it going? Thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for subscribing to my channel. Thank you all for watching this show. I appreciate you all for your support. Each and every day we're going to get better, better, and better with the all day platform. So week 10 is halfway through or more than halfway through the books. Sunday had some pretty exciting games, and we're going to go through what all went down on Sunday and leading up to tonight's kickoff, Monday Night Football. So without further ado, I want to go over, let's see here, talk further about I'm going to go into the Giants and Panthers game. That's the first game I'm going to go over. So I predicted the Panthers to win 19-10 against the Giants. So I was right about the win and wrong about the score. The actual score was 20-17. The Panthers won 20-17 in overtime. So my prediction score wasn't too far off, but it was fairly close. It was fairly close. So I mean, the recap of this game. I mean, there's really nothing to say much about this game. It was. I mean, how can I put it? It was fairly competitive, but it was watching terrible quarterback play is not something that football fans should be able to watch. I don't want to say should be able to watch, but football fans don't deserve to see terrible quarterback play on both sides of the ball. Now, let me push back a little bit on that. Bryce Young didn't play too bad, but he didn't do anything special either. Daniel Jones is atrocious, terrible, horrifying. I've never understood why Daniel Jones was ever a starting quarterback in this league, ever. I mean, he is somebody that you can say that he's just completely privileged to even get into the league. It's privileged to play in the NFL, period. But then there's another level to this privilege, and Daniel Jones is on that level. That is the only level that he is higher than in any situation in the NFL. That he has been so privileged to be drafted into the NFL and to still be starting and to actually land a huge contract. I don't know. Daniel Jones must have some serious connections, or he must got some serious family members within the NFL Giants organization. I don't know how that man is still playing. And with that being said, now the Giants wants to say that since they lost to the Panthers, another terrible organization, now the Giants wants to say that we are going to start looking into our quarterback position. That still sounds terrifying. Because all of a sudden you're going to start looking into it. You let Saquon Barkley walk, and then you pay Daniel Jones. Well, you paid Daniel Jones all this money before you even let Saquon Barkley walk, and then Saquon Barkley says he wants to stay there. He wasn't even asking for a serious contract, and you still just have him just go because of Daniel Jones. I watched some of the New York Giants Hard Knocks, and I saw the general managers, the scouts, the player personnel, the football, football operations in the office talking about, maybe we should just let Saquon Barkley walk, maybe, and we can beef up the offensive line. We can get him some running backs. We can get him some players. We can pretty much talk about they can surround Daniel Jones with some talent. The Giants actually does not lack talent. They lack quarterback. That's what they lack. And I put that completely on the Giants, the entire Giants organization. They let Saquon walk, but they did replace him. Well, you can't replace somebody like Saquon Barkley, but they do have a pretty solid, good running back. They got Malik Neighbors, got Slayton. They got some pretty good wide receivers. Their offensive line isn't that bad. It's not too bad. Not to my understanding, it's not that bad. And their defense is surprisingly pretty good, led by Sexy Dexy. So I mean, the problem with the Giants is their quarterback play. If you can replace Daniel Jones with actually an average quarterback, I would give the Giants 4 more wins. 4 more wins. I can give them 4 more wins. Daniel Jones is not even an average quarterback. He is a terrible quarterback. Daniel Jones was atrocious this game, going 22 of 37 for 190 yards with 2 interceptions. So, I mean, there's really nothing else to say about the Giants. I actually like Brian Daboll, but I think he's going to lose his job at the end of this year. If not, he probably won't get fired before the end of the season. I highly doubt he's going to get fired before the end of the season, but he's going to lose his job. And Daniel Jones needs to be replaced by some draft pick next year. I've heard about maybe Shedeur Sanders can go to the Giants. You know, the Giants picking number. If the Giants probably gonna pick number 1, Shedeur Sanders can go there. I highly doubt that. I don't think that he's going to end up going there. I don't think that he's going to agree to go there. I don't think Deion Sanders is going to agree for him to go into the Giants. So that's going to be a lot of drama with that. But yeah, Shedeur doesn't deserve to be in the Giants' mess. Well, I don't know. No. Let me thought it back, because they don't have a bad team, but at the same time, I don't trust the organization. I don't trust how that organization is being ran. And I'm actually a fan of Shedeur Sanders, and I wouldn't want to see Shedeur Sanders go to the Giants. I wouldn't want to see that. I would like to see Shedeur go to a more functional team. And I don't want to see him go to the Cowboys, but I'm pretty sure Deion would love that. I don't know where I would like to see Shedeur Sanders go. I'm gonna have to do like a mock draft. I was already considering doing that and see. But anyway, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves on that. Bryce Young, he also struggled, going for 126 yards on 5 yards per attempt. So, I mean, going forward, Carolina, they need to see if they can get more from Young, while the Giants must do the decent thing and play Drew Lock over Jones for the rest of the way. In both cities right now, in New York and in Carolina, it's all about the future. That's pretty much like where it boils down to. Both terribly ran organizations. If there's like, I guess you could say four. If there's like 4 organizations, because I think it's 4 organizations in the NFL that really disturbs me. That is just so terribly ran, and I just don't know how they. Well, I do know for one. I know how they still are, But I will say it's the Giants, the New York Giants, both New York teams, New York Giants, New York Jets, Carolina Panthers, and Dallas Cowboys. Those 4 teams. I believe that their lack of production is because of it's because of their terrible ownership. Like, purely because of their terrible ownership. Like, for all the other teams, like every team, if they have a lack of production, if they're struggling, it does go from the bottom to top for every team. That's the same story with every team. But what I am saying is that it's 100% the reason why of this team's lack of production is because of their ownership. That's what I'm saying. The Giants, I just think the Giants is terribly ran. The New York Jets is terribly ran. The Carolina Panthers is terribly ran. And we all know, and I think we can all agree. I think there are 2 of those teams, or maybe 3 of those teams that we can all agree on, because there might be some pushback on the Giants. The Giants, some people may not think that the New York Giants is terribly ran, but I think we all can agree that the New York Jets, the Carolina Panthers, and the Dallas Cowboys, I think 100% of people in this entire world would think that the Dallas Cowboys that those 3 is terribly ran, and their lack of that production is 100% on the owners and the general management. I think we can all agree upon that. So, yeah, Tyron, Tracy Jr., and Chuba Hubbard, they showed up. They was pretty good. It's solid. The young runners combined for 256 yards and 2 touchdowns, proving to be the engines of their respective offenses in the last seasons for both teams. Those 2 are bright spots. Yeah, I like Hubbard, man. He's pretty solid. He's a pretty solid running back. That I think that's like because like the Carolina Panthers also they have a pretty good. They have a pretty good team as pretty good playmakers as well. I like J.C. Horn, Tyron. I like Chuba Hubbard. He's a pretty good runner. And on the Giants side, I like Tyrone Tracy Jr. He's pretty good too. So that's what I'm saying. Like they got some talent. Like they got some good talent. But these teams, man, like, you can have all the talent in the world. You can even have the coach. If you have terrible ownership, man, you're only going to go so far in the NFL. You're only going to go so far. And like I'm the first person to always say that freaking coaching matters in football on all levels. And all levels in football, whether it's pee-wee, flag, not flag, whether it's pee-wee, middle school, high school, college, any D1, D2, D3 college, and freaking, especially, obviously NFL, coaching matters. But the only thing that it does not 100% matters when you're talking about the NFL is because it's a professional league. Well, college is professional. It's pretty much professional now too. But the NFL is because ownership has a lot to do with it. The organization has a lot to do with how successful the organization is going to be, how successful they're going to be, their production. So it's time to bench Daniel Jones, man. He should not play another down in this league at all, period, for the rest of his career. I know that's sounding harsh, but he just shouldn't. He's terrible. I think the only time when Daniel Jones should play is if he's second, third string quarterback, and the quarterback in front of him goes down. Daniel Jones should never, ever be a starting quarterback in the NFL, ever again. It's completely disrespectful to all of their quarterbacks. He does not look like he should be playing the position at all. He does not look like he belongs in the NFL. He's a terrible quarterback. He is one of the worst quarterbacks I have ever seen in my life. It's over and it's been over. It never started. The Giants were the only people who didn't understand giving him an extension after the 2022 season was a mistake. They're the only ones. They're the only ones who didn't understand. That's why I say that they are terribly ran. That's why I say that. That's why I put them in my 4 teams in the NFL. That is one of the worst ran organizations in the NFL. How did you even able to get that job? How did you become a general manager, a scout, player personnel, and think in your mind that Daniel Jones was your quarterback for the foreseeable future? How in the hell do you think that? If they thought that. That's how I know that I can be primed to be a scout. I know I can be a general manager because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at Daniel Jones, to look at his tape and be like, this dude does not belong with NFL whatsoever. The Giants are the only ones on planet Earth that thought that. Only ones. And you think getting Malik Neighbors was going to change that? You thought that drafting Malik Neighbors was going to make Daniel Jones look like maybe a above average type of quarterback. No, even Daniel Jones might be big. He might be a little athletic. So what? That don't mean that he's primed to be a starting quarterback for the NFL. I've never in my life seen Daniel Jones do anything good. Ever. I've never been impressed by Daniel Jones. I've seen better throws by Trevor Lawrence, another quarterback that I won't say another, because Trevor Lawrence is 10 times better than Daniel Jones. And I don't think that much of Trevor Lawrence. But at least Trevor Lawrence, you think that he could still probably, maybe get better. He's still young. He does have talent. He's just not good. So Trevor Lawrence's trajectory, his development, maybe he can get a coach that can really help with his development. Maybe. I don't know. But Trevor Lawrence is bad too. But he's not as bad as freaking Daniel Jones. But I want to stop talking about Daniel Jones. I want to stop talking about the Giants. I want to stop talking about the Panthers because those are 2 teams that does not deserve all this time. And I don't want to waste your time by keep talking about these teams. But I'm just saying that the Giants is terrible. The entire organization from bottom to floor to bottom, they're terrible all around. So through 9 games this year, Jones has thrown 8 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. Congratulations. They both are going on a bye, so we can have a week without seeing terrible organizations playing, wasting our times. So that could save more games for other better teams. And so let's go over. Let me see the next game. Oh yeah, Ravens Bengals. I talked about that a little bit. That was a classic game by the Baltimore Ravens and the Bengals on Thursday Night Football. That was another brutal loss for the Bengals. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. They did put on both. They did put on one of the best shows in recent primetime history, combining to throw for 718 yards and 8 touchdowns. It wasn't enough for Joe Burrow though. The Ravens overcame a 14-point third quarter deficit to sweep the season series for the AFC North rivals. The Bengals still have a chance to make the postseason, but their defense must improve. As the unit ranks 26th in points per game against. So, I actually feel sorry for Joe Burrow. I'm not even a Joe Burrow fan. I always say he's overrated, but I think he's a really great quarterback. I think Joe Burrow can be a Hall of Famer. I already proved my point why I say he's overrated. I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but I like Joe Burrow, man. I would like to see the Bengals in the playoffs. They probably can get in for a wild card spot, maybe, but who knows? They're going to lose again next week. They got my Chargers next week, and on not Monday, Sunday Night Football. Yeah, Sunday Night Football. They're playing us Sunday Night Football, and I don't. Yeah, they're not going to beat us. They're not beating the Chargers. I'm not choosing the Bengals to beat us, but I do think the Bengals could probably still make it to the playoffs. I do think so. But whatever though, you got Jamar Chase. He sat out the entire season in the preseason and hopes of a new deal, but he didn't get that. But he is tearing the league up. Jamar Chase, God, right now, I always said that Justin Jefferson is the greatest wide receiver in the league, but right now, Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in the league right now. And so, after Thursday Night Football, after the game, Jamar Chase, he ranked up for 11 catches, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's ridiculous. He leads the NFL with 981 receiving yards, despite T. Higgins being sidelined for a good chunk of the year. Chase is showing he deserves to be the highest paid wide receiver in all of football, and he does. He is destroying the league right now. He is destroying cornerbacks. He is, right now, Chase is the best wide receiver in the game right now. So, the Bengals defense, it needs to improve. It will not. I don't see it getting better at all. The Baltimore Ravens, their defense needs to improve as well. Their defense is not that much better. The Ravens entered Sunday allowing a league worst of 294.9 passing yards per game, which is more than 5 teams that are giving up in total yards. So, if this doesn't change, Lamar Jackson is going to have to be Superman to make it run through the postseason for any shot of the Super Bowl. And same for Joe Burrow. They both are going to have to be Superman. And that's not going to happen with neither one of those teams. It's not going to happen for neither one of those quarterbacks, neither one of those teams. That's why I don't see them going far. So, yeah. But the Bengals, they have the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, and the Ravens, they are going to be at the Steelers. There's going to be 2 awesome freaking games, November the 17th. So, save the date. So, we got also, let's see here. Let's go over so the Patriots and the Bears. So I predicted the Bears to beat the Patriots 20-14. I was wrong about the win. The actual win was the Patriots beat the Bears 19-3. So it was still pretty a low scoring game. And the game was fairly close, so I did know the score was going to be close. I was just very surprised about the win. So to recap on that, Caleb Williams. Yeah, I'll do a separate video on Caleb Williams. I don't want to go too deep on that, but he's struggling. I gotta watch more. I'm gonna go over a lot of the Bears games, but the biggest part, man, with that whole situation with the Bears is just that it's terrible coaching, man. It is terrible coaching, and yeah, I did say in one of my earlier videos, it was one of the videos by when I brought about Caleb Williams. I just primarily just talked about Caleb Williams, so you can go back and listen to that video. But I did mention a few times in my videos that my only concern about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears is his coaching. I said that way before the season started. I said I don't have any faith in his coach at all. I might probably had too much faith in Caleb Williams for him to overcome that type of coaching. But yeah, I had too much. There's no but in that. I did have too much faith in Caleb Williams for him to overcome the horrendous coaching because I didn't have any faith in that coaching whatsoever. I didn't. And he kind of has overcame that coaching a little bit in some of these games when he'll go up against teams that are terrible, and with terrible defenses. He played well. Throw for 300 yards, they win the game. So he has played well against bad teams. That's still not a bad thing for a rookie quarterback with a very complicated offense and a very terrible coaching play and a terrible offensive line and a sort of a lack of a running game and I won't say a terrible run organization. The Jaguars is not terribly run organization. They have invested in that team. But, for Caleb Williams to overcome all of that, I think that he has played fairly well. For him to overcome that. Like I tell you guys all the time that I judge a quarterback based on the minimal resources that he has and the type of obstacles that he has to overcome. Especially a young quarterback as a rookie, his first 4 years in the NFL. So Caleb Williams is still very promising. He's not in the same situation as Jaden Daniels. Like I tell you guys all the time, coaching of football matters. Coaching matters almost more than anything in the NFL. So I did predict the Chicago Bears to go to the Super Bowl. It definitely doesn't look like that. They can still make it to the playoffs though, but it doesn't look like they're even going to make the playoffs. But I'm still sticking with my Chicago Bears Super Bowl run. It's not time yet for me to change it. I will change it if they keep losing. Chargers still winning. I got the Chargers and the Bears in the Super Bowl. So we'll see. But it might be time to sell the Chicago Bears stock at 4-5. They have a losing record right now. The Bears have lost 3 consecutive games, including 1 game on a Hail Mary and another without competing against the Cardinals. So on Sunday, New England 3-7 came into Soldier Field and bullied the Bears all over the field, constantly disrupting Caleb Williams and holding Chicago without a touchdown. It's the low point for a team which has had many over the past decade. So, yeah. Let's give Gerard Mayo some credit. He doesn't have that much talent on either side of the ball, and he's getting the Patriots to play very hard. While New England isn't going to win more than a few more games the rest of the season, they are showing some resilience. So that's what's up. I'm not surprised. I kind of knew that Gerard Mayo was going to coach pretty heavily, coach good. I knew that he was going to do a good job. I knew the Patriots wasn't going to win so many games, because they have, they got to get the personnel together. But I had a lot of faith in Gerard Mayo. He's getting that team right, and Drake May is playing pretty solid as well. So that's exciting. And the Patriots, they do have a really good defense. They have not a really good defense, but they have a pretty solid defense as well. So so the real question is for the Bears to add, the Chicago Bears, their offense. So, Williams, he went for 16 of 30 for 120 yards on 4 yards per attempt. He was also sacked 9 times. That's crazy by a defense without a true pass rusher. That's a disaster for coordinator Shane Waldron. That's a disaster. That's terrible. Horrendous. God. Like I said, I do think that Caleb Williams holds the ball a little bit too long. He needs to go through his progressions a lot faster. Caleb Williams has a lot he needs to clean up, but it's more complicated than it needs to be when you have a coordinator and a head coach who are way out of their league, who doesn't know what they're doing, obviously, who just will not put their players, for some reason, being so bullish, and will not put their players in the best position to win, will not put their players in the best position to perform. That's terrible coaching. You don't just put this system there and then force your players, especially your quarterback, to do the system and to learn it. And then if you see them struggling, you're like, well, you got to get it, bro. That's not how you do it. That's not good coaching. And you're going to ruin your quarterback's confidence. He's young, and it's a disaster in Chicago right now. And it doesn't look like that the Bears is even backing up Caleb Williams. it sucks. I hope the Bears can get a better coach next year. And I would like to see maybe Ben Johnson go to the Bears. That would be beautiful. I would love to see Ben Johnson go to Chicago. Maybe even Bill Belichick. That would be awesome too. I would like to see that. Bill Belichick or Ben Johnson. I think they would do wonders for Caleb Williams. Even though Bill Belichick isn't a quarterback coach, but you do know that Bill Belichick will have that team organized. He will have that team disciplined. He will have control over that locker room, and he will have Caleb Williams winning games. And he can teach Caleb Williams a thing or two about defense, reading defenses, understanding the game more. That would be awesome for Caleb Williams, Bill Belichick. I would love to see Ben Johnson. He will have Caleb Williams playing phenomenal. But Bill Johnson will go from offensive coordinator to head coach. But Ben Johnson did say that he will not take a head coaching job if he does not have control over calling the plays. So, yeah. That would be cool. I would like to see that. Let's see what happens next year. So up next, the Rams is going to be at the Patriots, and then we got the Packers at the Bears. So yeah. So let's moving on. We got. Let's see here. We got the Bills and the Colts. So I said that the Bills was going to beat the Colts 30-17. I was right about the win. I was so close about the score as well because I said they was going to win 30-17. The Bills beat the Colts 30-20. That was the actual score. So I wasn't too far off. And so Anthony Richardson didn't play. I was trying to figure out was he going to play or not. I was a little confused. I knew that they said they was going to shut him down for the rest of the season, but I didn't know if I heard some stuff about them changing. I don't know. I don't know if I heard some stuff about them playing him or something. I don't know. But anyway, he didn't play the game. He didn't play. And so, my take on Buffalo, they're 8-2 to beat the Colts 30-20. They faced a potential trap game in Indianapolis, but they survived it. And Josh Allen, he's starting to throw a little bit of interceptions. He threw a pair of them. I think he threw three. I believe he threw two of them. But even with those, Allen threw for 280 yards, while the Bills picked off Joe Flacco 3 times. Joe Flacco was starting to play very bad. So it's looking like they should go ahead and just go back to Anthony Richardson. Buffalo was also able to run for 136 yards with James Cook leading the way by gaining 80 yards and scoring a touchdown. For the Bills, it's now about finding a way to knock off the unbeaten Chiefs, who they play next week. Teron Johnson, second team All-Pro last year. He's only getting better. And slot corner, the superstar slot corner had a pick 6 to start the scoring, and then he registered a sack later on. Right now, it's looking like Teron Johnson is the best player on the Buffalo's defense right now. So he's playing. That's pretty solid. Shane Steichen. So like I said, he's probably gonna go back to Anthony Richardson. He might as well. I mean, Joe Flacco's not playing any better now. And so the Colts are now 2 games under 500, and Joe Flacco he's been terrible for the past couple of weeks. 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions over 2 weeks. So yeah, we'll see if they're going to go back to Anthony Richardson. The Chiefs going to play the Bills next week. That's going to be awesome to see that. And we got the Colts at the Jets. Yeah, that's going to be the game of terrible right there. Battle of the terribles, Colts and Jets. Yeah. Anyway, so let's move on. We got the Chiefs and the Broncos. I said that I was right about the win. I was wrong about the score. I said the Chiefs was going to beat the Broncos 27-18. The Chiefs beat the Broncos 16-14. And I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, it's just looking like now, like how the Chiefs are winning these games, that God just wants them to win every single week. So, and I'm actually predicting the Chiefs to go undefeated until they play the Chargers. I think that a lot of people think that the Bills is going to beat them. I don't think so. I think that they are going to end up beating the Bills. Because the thing about the Chiefs is they don't play the same way every single week. And they don't win the same way every single week. The Chiefs is so organized, so disciplined, and so resilient, and so creative, and so deep. and so great, so well coached that they it's like they pick up a different tool from their arsenal for them to win a game. They're so situational. The thing about the Chiefs is that I think a lot of people are missing is that they play football. They play situational football better than any team in the entire NFL. And they also play extremely well complementary football as well. But they definitely play great situational football. If you look at how Patrick Mahomes plays, sometimes he can throw for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, whatever. Or they can have like a 200 rushing or whatever. But they are really good at situational football. Very good at it. And so they can probably beat the Broncos 16-14 today, but they can beat the Bills 30-26 next week. That's how great of a team the Chiefs are. And that's a dangerous team. And that's all because of Andy Reid. It's Andy Reid and then it's Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick Mahomes, if you pay attention, he is a really, really great situational quarterback. Very great situational quarterback. That's why when the game's on the line and it's different situations, he makes a play. Because he understands the situation. He trains, I know Patrick Mahomes does this. He trains his mind to be able to adapt to any situation that's going to face him in the game. And he's so instinctive. He's already done all the homework. So it's like in the game, it's like this. He's so instinctive. Situation comes when to make a play, boom, he makes the play. That's a killer instinct by Patrick Mahomes. That's a warrior. That's why the Chiefs are undefeated right now. And I believe the only team that can match the Chiefs with that type of mentality is the Chargers. I don't see the Bills doing that. The Bills plays the same way every single week. We know what the Bills' identity is. We know the Bills, they are being ran by Josh Allen, and it's not going to happen next week. The Chiefs, like I said, they're so situational. They're like, oh, new game, different situation. We beat the Broncos 16-14. That's not us anymore. We are renewed. We're changing it up. It's always about win. How can we win this game? Laid it all out. How can we beat the Bills? We're going to lay it all out. And then we're going to go out there and we're going to perfectly execute this game plan. Will the Bills perfectly execute their game plan? We don't think so. Because if a team beats us, they have to be perfect. They have to be perfect. And we know more than anything that we can knock Josh Allen off. And we can force him to not be perfect. Because Josh Allen is one of the most quarterbacks in the entire NFL that turns the ball over, who doesn't play a perfect game. He could probably beat other teams and not being perfect, but he's not going to beat us and not be perfect. See, that's what the thing about the Chiefs. So it's like a new week, new game plan, new opponent. But the fundamentals are the same. We are going to be situational. We are going to stay resilient. Our defense is always going to be great. And we are always going to play complementary football. Boom, 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 boom. Those are our principles. Everything else, cool. We're going to be perfect. And we're going to be perfect executing this game. Everything else, hey. That's why the Chiefs always win. They execute their game plan and their fundamentals and the principles perfect. More than perfect than anybody. Than anybody in the entire NFL. And I see the Chargers are starting to get towards that as well. I see it, how Jim Harbaugh is doing it, because Jim Harbaugh knows how to win. So I see that. So that I believe that's the only team that's going to be able to, that's going to knock them off. And we almost knocked them off last time we played. We almost did. We gave up that big touchdown to Xavier Worthy. That's not going to happen to us again. We had some starters out. The Chiefs got lucky in that game. We had some players out. Darren James did not play. They got lucky that game. They beat us by, 7 points? It's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen again. So, yeah. So, I mean, they blocked that field goal. Like I said, that's complimentary football. That's not luck, man. I'm not going to say that that's luck by the Chiefs. So, the Chiefs, they beat the Buccaneers 6 days ago in overtime before pulling off their biggest stunner to date. Blocking that potential game-winning 35-yard field goal by Will Lutz on the final play. Leo Cheney linebacker. He broke into ruin Bo Nix's day after Denver. So yeah, it's after Denver. Yeah, so Bo Nix, he threw for 215 yards and 2 TDs. The Chiefs defense, they held Denver to 260 total yards. Patrick Mahomes was uneven. He threw for 266 yards, and he missed two easy touchdown tosses. He almost missed that. That's not Patrick Mahomes. That's very unlikely. It still came on top of a win, though. So, Bo Nix, he's developing. He's getting better. So the Broncos, they do have a bright future ahead of them, and they do have something to look forward to with Bo Nix. He went throw to throw with Patrick Mahomes, and so he's going to get. He does need to get better against the pressure, but he's showing some development, man. And we got. Let's see. Mahomes was sacked 4 times, hit on 9 occasions. So that their offensive line is starting to break down a little bit. That Denver Broncos defense got to them. So yeah, and that's another reason why I do believe that they're going to lose to us. Well, yeah, I hope the Chiefs stay undefeated until they play the Chargers, because they're not going to beat us this second go around. And I would love for the Chargers to hand the Chiefs their first defeat and their only defeat of the NFL season. That would be awesome. So let's see. We got the Broncos play the Falcons next week. That's going to be a pretty exciting game. And then we got the Chiefs and the Bills. That's going to be an exciting game as well. So we got, let's see here. We got the Saints and the Falcons. I said the Falcons was going to beat the Saints 30-24. I was wrong about the win. The Saints beat the Falcons 20-17. So that's pretty cool. So that kind of surprised me. I thought the Saints was done for winning games. So they pulled out, they came back with a win after they fired their coach. So yeah, New Orleans, they finally snapped their 7-game losing streak. They did so with their interim coach Darren Rizzi. The Saints took out their biggest rivals, beating Atlanta behind Derek Carr's 269-yard passings and 2 TDs. The Falcons moved the ball throughout with 468 total yards. The defense gave up too many big plays, though, including 109 yards and 2 TDs to Saints receivers Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So, Atlanta is struggling. Kirk Cousins struggled, but that rushing attack is still looking powerful. Bijan Robinson, I was wrong about Bijan. I didn't think he was going to be a pretty good running back, but he is. He's a really good running back, one of the best running backs in the NFL. He ran for 116 yards and 2 TDs. He is coming into his own. So, yeah. And it was part of a 181-yard rushing day by the Falcons. So, the Falcons is looking like they're getting a real strong rushing attack. Going forward, it looks like that's going to be the Falcons' identity. Is their run first team. Kirk Cousins, he's looking inconsistent. Like I said before, I'm not that big on Kirk Cousins. He plays good throughout the regular. He plays good in the regular season, and then sometimes a few games in the regular season, he's very inconsistent. And for him to struggle against the Saints, that's nothing to really be excited. That's disturbing. He's an inconsistent guy. And that's exactly what's going to happen in the playoffs. He's not a playoff quarterback. He's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's not that type of quarterback. He's the type of quarterback to rack up stats and to that's what he does. He's going to rack stats up, and then at the end of when it's time for his contract when it's time for him to get paid, that's what he does. He brings him and his agent will bring that stats and look at the stats that I put down, and then he gets paid. Guaranteed money. So I'm not that big on Kirk Cousins. And I knew this, and that's why I predicted him to be benched by week 5. But I think week 5 was a little bit too exaggerated. It was a little bit too explicit. It was too much, and it was really just my expression of me saying that really I don't like Kirk Cousins really all that much. I don't really like him. I don't think he's all that good of a quarterback. I really don't. So he's the type of quarterback that even with everything that I said, he's also the type of quarterback who needs weapons around him for him to perform, so that way he can rack up his stats and make himself look better than what he actually is. Kirk Cousins is that type of guy. I don't know him personally. I don't want to say he's that type of guy. He's that type of player. He looks like he's a cool guy. He looks like a stand-up guy. But I'm talking about him as a player. He's just not. He's not it. He never was. He never will be. So that's that. I would like to see Michael Penix get some shots later on in this year. But at the same time, I think that Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback for Michael Penix to learn under. Get some. Kirk Cousins is a vet. He has a lot of experience. So I think that's a plus for Michael Penix. But I would like to see Michael Penix play, man. I would like to see that Falcons offense run by Michael Penix now. So Atlanta's front has had a tough time getting pressure all season, and it happened again on Sunday. So they could not get any pressure on Carr. He wasn't sacked at all. He only got hit once. The front seven notched 2 tackles for lost. So yeah, the Falcons, they got the Broncos next, and the Saints, they have the Browns next. So moving on along, let's see who we got next. We got Patriots, Bills, Chiefs. Let's see here. Let's see. Saints. 49ers, Tampa Bay. Yeah, 49ers and Tampa Bay. So, I said the 49ers was going to beat Tampa Bay 24-21. I was right about the win, and I was so close about the score. The actual score was 23-20. I was like a point, 2 points. Yeah, like 2 points in total. Oh, I said 24. I said the 49ers was going to put up 24 points. They put up 23. And I said the Buccaneers was going to put up 21. They put up 20. I was nearly perfect. But it's all good. So we got, the recap on that game. I actually need to watch that game. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I looked up some research on it, and it sounded like Brock Purdy actually played very well distributing the ball, and so that's a plus. And I don't know. Let's see here. I do believe that he did a really great job distributing the ball. Brock Purdy had a huge day for San Francisco. He got them over 500 for a second consecutive win. So let's see. Christian McCaffrey came back this week. Touched the ball for 19 times, 107 yards. And Tampa Bay are now 4-6. They were outplayed pretty much throughout the entire game. And let's see here. The Buccaneers were in the game because the Niners went 1 of 3 in the red zone while also winning the turnover battle. So really the score is a lot closer than what it should be, to be honest. Because, I guess you can give credit to the Buccaneers defense, red zone defense, for holding them, having them be 1 and 3 in the red zone. But I would say that's more of the 49ers than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got Christian McCaffrey back. Well, this is his game back. So yeah. So you got Christian McCaffrey coming back off an injury. Christian McCaffrey is going to get more healthier. He's going to get more into the groove. So Tampa Bay. So yeah, this score was a lot more. The score looks closer than what it should be. So it looks like the 49ers actually should have blown out the Buccaneers. So yeah, their offense, the San Fran's offense still isn't perfect, but things are looking a lot better. Brock Purdy threw for 353 yards and 2 TDs. Juwan Jennings came back from an injury to catch 7 passes for 93 yards. Rookie wide receiver Ricky Parasol, he caught a 46-yard score as part of a 73-yard day. So look, they stocking up. And we got, so Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are still out. The Buccaneers, they didn't really have enough on the outside against the Niners. The Niners defense was just too powerful for Baker Mayfield to do anything, for the Buccaneers offense to do anything. And this is my point about Baker Mayfield, another quarterback that I'm not big on, and I'm just so surprised that he's still playing. Even if he's playing, he's inconsistent. He's like Kirk Cousins. He's one of those quarterbacks who needs a good offense around him for him to produce. Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, those are not the type of guys that even Brock Purdy. I'm sticking on top of my head. Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott. These are not quarterbacks. Tua. These are not quarterbacks that elevate talent or that elevate players around them. They don't develop players around them. They need really great coaching, and they need, and I say great, and they need great play call, and they need talent around them for them to really prevail. They are not the quarterbacks who can make players around them better. They're not, you know. Only so many of them do that. Patrick Mahomes can do it. I want to say Joe Burrow can. I want to say Joe Burrow can, but I don't know. You know, and Joe Burrow is one of those quarterbacks I always say that's overrated, you know, but I see Joe Burrow play, and his quarterback play is so excellent that I want to say that Joe Burrow can be that quarterback that without his star power, that he can still make guys around him better. I want to say it, but I have to see Joe Burrow without Jamar Chase. I have to see it. I mean, you have this guy since college, and now you're in the. I gotta see Joe Burrow without his weapons. I gotta see it. We see it with Justin Herbert now. You see Justin Herbert is that quarterback. He makes guys around him better. Look, I've been telling people all along, Justin Herbert is the best pocket passer in the league, and he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't care what anybody says. Can you imagine what Justin Herbert can do with Andy Reid on offense? Could you imagine what he can do with Ben Johnson? Come on. Could you imagine what he can do with Mike McDaniel? Come on, man. Come on. You see what he's doing with Greg Roman. Come on. So, yeah. You see what he's doing with Greg Roman, Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnson, Lat McConkey, Will Disley, Hayden Hurst, and as his options. Stone Smart as his options. These are all guys. What did everybody say in the beginning of this year? He has no help. He has no weapons. The Chargers are going to suck. Their offense is going to be terrible. What is Joe Burrow? What is Justin Herbert doing right now? Come on now. I'm trying to tell you guys, man. I'm not just talking out of my ass. Like, I'm actually watching these games and watching the tape. Like, and I'm not saying that Justin Herbert is the best in the entire NFL because he's a Charger. I'm not saying that. Like, I'm actually watching these games. I watched every single Justin Herbert game. Every single snap that Justin Herbert has played, I've seen. I watched it. And I probably watched it more than 3 times. Every single snap. So, alright. Y'all keep sleeping on my boy Justin. He's going to show y'all. Anyway. So, you know, Baker Mayfield threw for 116 yards while the leading wideout was Ryan Miller, who caught 1 pass for 11. That is terrible for 11 yards. Whatever. I don't want to talk much more about this game. Whatever. The Seahawks going to be at the 49ers. The Seahawks going to be at the 49ers next week, and the Buccaneers got a bye. Okay. So, next game, we got the Chargers. No, wait, let's see. Hold on. No. We got the Steelers and the Commanders. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that game, not the Chargers. Yeah, we got the Steelers and the Commanders. I said the Steelers was going to win 30-20. I was right about the win. Kind of close about on the score. Steelers got 28. Commanders got 27. So, yeah, a lot closer than what I predicted. So, yeah, Steelers, I was right about the win, wrong about the score. So, the Steelers and the Commanders. Hey, what I tell you about Russell Wilson, man? I told y'all. Like, I keep trying to tell y'all. That's another quarterback I was right on. And there's another quarterback y'all need to be listening to me about. I'm telling y'all about these quarterbacks, and y'all don't want to listen to me. I told y'all. I wrote about it last year. Like, I was saying that Russell Wilson, you guys disrespect him. You guys are going to start respecting him. And you guys are going to start looking like bandwagon fans. You know, like, you don't look too deep into the play. You don't look too deep into the tape. You see the stats, you see the wins and losses, and then you run away with that. That just shows that you don't have a critical eye to the game. You don't have a critical eye to the game because you don't know the game. You don't understand the game. And that's fine. But it doesn't give you the right to just crucify a player because of your lack of understanding of the game. You know? Russell Wilson showed out against the Commanders team. Commanders defense. What else can you say? Everybody and their mama was saying, do not start Russell Wilson. He should not play. Yada, yada, yada. Start Justin Fields over Russell Wilson. And the Pittsburgh Steelers offense was mediocre throughout. Don't get me wrong, Justin Fields, he played well enough for them to be winning. He did. He played better than he did in Chicago. He did that. Like I said, again, coaching in football matters. Look what's happening look what happened with Justin Fields. And Russell Wilson, he played well. His 2 years in Denver, he did. Even his first year. Again, like I tell you guys all the time, I judge quarterbacks based on the minimal scarce resources that they have and the obstacles that they have to overcome. You have to literally be looking at the game specifically for you to really be able to do that. Because if you don't understand the game, you don't understand great quarterback play, you don't understand about how the positions are supposed to be played. And if you then you're just going to look at the game, you're going to see him playing bad, and you're going to look at the stats, you're going to look at the wins, and it's going to be like, oh my God, he sucks. No. Russell Wilson did not suck when he was in Denver at all. I saw how he overcame certain things, and he still made plays, even with, I forgot the coach's name. I don't know how I forget his name. The coach who was the head coach for the Denver Broncos. Gotta forget his name. Went out my mind. But yeah, I think because he's so terrible of a coach, I shouldn't remember his name. But anyway, we all know he's with the Jets now. But Russell Wilson still played well. He did. He made plays with working with nothing. And then Sean Payton came. He was better. Sean Payton didn't want Russell Wilson. And he left. Went to Pittsburgh. He still was being disrespected. I saw Stephen A. disrespect Russell Wilson. Because when it was an offseason, Russell Wilson, I forgot what he said. He was saying, I don't have anything to worry about or something. And what did Stephen A. Smith say to Russell Wilson? You're not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. What he said? Russell Wilson, you're beginning to piss me off. I saw that on First Take when Stephen A. Smith was disrespected. I saw that crap. And I was going to make a video on that, but I just never got a chance around it. You know what? I would make a video on it just to call Stephen A. Smith out. Because now Stephen A. Smith, on First Take, wants to credit Russell Wilson, wants to talk good about him. And I should really go down the list of every single person who disrespected Russell Wilson and say, look how dumb you look now. Look how wrong you look now. See, one thing about me is that me being able to talk about football and have this platform and all that, I don't care about being wrong. But I do a lot of my power to be right on what I say, because I am a truth seeker, and I respect facts more than anything. And then if I can't find the fact, if there isn't a fact, if there is no empirical evidence on that, I would just state my opinion. I was literally tell you, I was like, in my wholehearted opinion. Because I believe in credibility. I believe in you coming to me for some credible sources. I believe that there is not enough truth and honesty and facts going around in the world. There's too much opinion, regardless if it's a fact or not. Your opinion is irrelevant and should not be said if there is a fact out there, if there's empirical evidence out there to go against what your stupid opinion is, because that's what it is. It's a stupid opinion because there are facts that goes against that. And that's the fact. That's that. So yeah. So anyway, I hail Russell Wilson, man. Let's see what Russell Wilson's stats. Russell Wilson has 3 consecutive wins, including Sunday where he beat the Washington. 3 touchdown passes. 3 touchdown passes. Completed half of his 28 attempts, but he made big plays, highlighted by 3 pass plays of at least 25 yards. He handed the Commanders their loss. The defense allowing 28 points. Yeah, so, hey, man. And Mike Williams, he's on the Steelers now. He recorded a great 32-yard touchdown reception. So that was pretty solid. And Washington needs to get more out of their ground attack. So, Jody Daniels, he's pretty much doing everything himself, pretty much. The Commanders ran for 60 yards or 2.7 yards per attempt, with Daniels gaining just 5 yards on 3 runs. So, yeah. The Ravens is going to be at the Steelers next week. That's going to be a really, really great game. The Commanders is going to be at the Eagles. Another great game. That's going to be on Monday night. Commanders at Eagles. I think that's Thursday. Yeah, that's Thursday. Oh, wow, awesome. That's going to be a great Thursday night game. Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I was about to say Monday night, but I was like, hold on. It's on November 14th. So yeah, that's it for that. We got so then the next game we got the Jaguars, Vikings. I was right about the I was right about the win, wrong about the score. I said the Jaguars was going to beat the I said the Vikings was going to beat the Jaguars 40-12. We gave them way too many points. Way off on this score. Vikings beat the Jaguars 12-7. Yeah, so whatever, but they still won. So Sam Darnold, he's struggling a little bit, man. He's forcing the ball too much to Justin Jefferson. He threw 3 picks. I mean, it shows how great of a team that Minnesota Vikings are for them to overcome that. And now it's looking like that the Vikings are going to start running the ball more through Aaron Jones because they had to switch it up because of what Sam Darnold was doing. He went for 88 yards on 17 carries for 88 yards. So I would say you should give both defenses credits in this game. You know, the Jaguars, they've pretty much been terrible this season. They held Justin Jefferson to 5 catches on 9 targets for 48 yards. That's stupendous. That is awesome. Jacksonville mustered only 143 yards compared to 402 for the Vikings. So you know, the Vikings are keeping pace of the NFC North. And yeah, and something to be concerned about, you know, I'll say the quarterback play for that game. I hate to say this, my boy Sam Darnold, USC, fight on, but he was struggling this game. He was playing bad. He kept trying to force the ball to Justin Jefferson. He's going to have to change that up. And as for Jones, it was to be expected coming off the bench to face Brian Flores' defense. So yeah, the Vikings they got the Titans. They got the Titans next week. That should be an easy win. The Jaguars has a Lions. Oh Lord have mercy. Feel sorry for them. They're going to get destroyed in that game. But anyway, let's move on. And so we got the Chargers, Titans. Yeah, looking forward to this one. Well, not looking forward, but I'm looking forward to talking about it. We got the Chargers and the Titans. I said the Titans are going to lose to the Chargers 0-30. That's what I said. So the Chargers are going to blow them out 30-0. Chargers almost put up 30 points. They put up 27. But, however, 3 touchdowns was dropped by the Chargers wide receivers. 3 touchdowns. So they could have put up well over 30 points. God, man, that pissed me off. And we let a freaking garbage touchdown at the end of the game. Like I think it was Calvin Ridley. I think it was on Tarheeb Still too. End of the game, we let another touchdown. It was 27-10, and then we let that down touchdown. So I could have been close. I could have been almost close about this game, but I was right about the score. I was right about not the score. I was right about the win. You know, a little bit off on the score, but you saw where I was getting. If you watch the game, you will see that why I said the score. You will see. You know, you'll look at it. It was close to how the game was played. You know, the meat of the game. You know, it was how it was played was the result of why I said 30-0. Because that's how it really should have been. You know, but whatever. And then there was a blown coverage early in the game. You know, we let it go by Calvin Ridley, blown coverage. That's my concerns about the Chargers. That's one of my concerns about the Chargers is sometimes, even though that defense is really great, we do give up big plays almost every game. We give up like one big play. You know, and we could be undefeated right now if our defense does not give up a big play. Like literally, we gave up a big play to the Chiefs. How I'm gonna go from our first loss all the way to our third loss. We gave up a big play to the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs wasn't our first loss. My apologies. We gave up a big play to the Steelers. I can't remember who that player was that we gave it that big play to. Was it Tavon Austin? I think it was Tavon Austin, and I think it was like a 46-yard touchdown. Come on, like the Chargers can be so undefeated right now if we don't give up these big plays. Like all these losses that we have, the 3 losses, they literally is from us beating ourselves. Those 3 losses. We gave up that big play to Tavon Austin. If I'm correct, it was Tavon Austin. Steelers beats us by 10 points. What was it? Was it 20-10? No, because no team has put up 20 points on us all year. So was it 19-10 or something like that? I think it was, or was it 7? I can't remember what the Steelers beat us by, but they beat us by like 10 points. So that was that big play that resulted in us losing. And then the Chiefs, we gave up a big play to Xavier Worthy. Mahomes saw him, boom, took the top off our defense. Another big play that resulted in 2 losses, and then we gave up 2 big plays against the Cardinals. Junior Colson, he's not playing right now, so maybe because he was so injured, I don't know. Junior Colson, he takes a bad angle on Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray beats him to the sideline. Boom. I think he ran for like 56-yard touchdown. 56-yard touchdown. Come on, man. And then not only that, a lot of people don't talk about this, even though I'm very happy about Daniel Henley. He's playing phenomenal. He's playing really great linebacking. He is getting better every single week. Daniel Henley is. He is getting better and better. He is an extremely athletic linebacker. He's a thumper. He's really good, but he got manhandled by James Conner. I ain't gonna say manhandled, but James Conner juked him for I think it was for a first down or a touchdown. I can't remember. But that first down that James Conner had at the end of the game with the Cardinals, that resulted pretty much still. That's pretty much sealed the deal. You know, and that was on Daniel Henley. It was Daniel Henley. James Conner. Daniel Henley misses the tackle. James Conner runs up for a first down, ends the game. You know, Daniel Henley probably would have got that tackle. We probably would have had a chance, you know, but that ended the game right there. So we gave up some pretty big plays that resulted in us losing, you know, and really, if Junior Colson did not get burnt by that 56-yard touchdown, like that's not something you're supposed to do. You don't give that up. You don't give up those big plays like that. All those resulted in 3 wins. So that's why I'm really big on the Chargers this year, and that's why, you know, I think we can go to the Super Bowl if we can get that stuff taken care of. We can be undefeated right now. So, and you know, that's why you know, you believe in Jim Harbaugh. Let's move on, man. So, you know, hey, Justin Herbert, my boy. I'm so happy about what's going on right now. Quentin Johnston, he now has freaking 5 touchdowns on the year. You know, and that results in great coaching, man. That results in great coaching. You know, and the Chargers, they play smart football, complementary football, situational football. We only threw the ball 18 times, but we made sure to avoid turnovers. Justin Herbert only has 1 turnover all year. Only 1. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to jinx him. But he's a phenomenal quarterback, man. I don't know why he gets so much hate. I do know why he gets so much hate. Because people hate on him. That's why. Yeah, that's why. Justin Herbert averaged 9.1 yards per attempt. That's awesome. And found Quentin Johnston for a 3rd quarter touchdown. I thought Justin Herbert wasn't a second half quarterback. I thought Justin Herbert was going to close games. Okay, yeah. You know, Will Levis, he didn't play too bad. I saw that, you know, he didn't play bad. He didn't play too poorly, which I'm not big on him at all. But, you know, our defense, the Chargers defense, sacked him 7 times. You know, so that rushing attack, though, it was 6.3 yards per carry. You know, but yeah, and let's give some credit to just Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, man. The Chargers were a mess. We were a terrible mess for years under Brandon Staley with no culture, 0 signature wins. Los Angeles hasn't beaten a group of teams this year. Los Angeles doesn't beat themselves. We don't beat ourselves. Like I said, we did beat ourselves those 3 games that we lost, but we're getting it. We're improving. We're improving. We're still giving up those big plays, but hey. Los Angeles, you know, the Chargers, man, I'm loving what we're doing. I'm loving it. So, like, the Tennessee offensive line, it has to get better. And so, I mean, J.C. Latham, I was kind of big on him. I thought he was going to do good. He's not playing well, you know, but hey, I mean, what's there to say about the Titans, man? I mean, they need a quarterback. They need a lot of everything. So let's move on. The Vikings, the Titans got the Vikings next, and the Bengals, Chargers next week on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be exciting to watch. Next game, I said the Eagles was going to beat the Cowboys 60-0. I was right about the win. I was way off about the score. The Eagles beat the Cowboys 34-6. So, you know, the Cowboys are a disaster team, man. Terribly ran, like I said, organization. I really don't want to spend too much time on this game. I really don't want to talk about it, really, to be honest. But, I mean, let's just see. They did intercept Jalen Hurts in the end zone. Recovered a fumble inside the Eagles' 10-yard, but they still lost by 4 scores. The Philadelphia Eagles, they're NFC East lead. They're leading the NFC East. They held the Cowboys to 146 yards, 49 passing yards, 1.69 yards per attempt. The Eagles has been a little inconsistent, but lately they have been very consistent. Lately they have. Their talent is beginning to blossom and to make their head coach, look better than what he actually is, Nick Sirianni. I'm not a fan of Eagles coach at all, but he's going to continue to be their coach as long as they keep winning. And they're going to make him look better as long as they keep winning. The Philadelphia's defense is starting to blossom as well. It's starting to develop and get better each week. They caused 5 turnovers, covering 4 fumbles. Their defense dominated. So if the Eagles can continue ascending on that side of the ball, they are a contender. They can make a run for that Super Bowl. Yeah, Jerry Jones, he's a problem why the Cowboys suck. Huge problem. And they're talking about, he said that he's not going to consider, a coaching change in the season. Why should he? It's not the coach, it's him. As long as that coach doesn't freaking challenge him, I think Mike McCarthy will always be the Cowboys coach. So I don't want to talk too much about this anymore. I don't like talking about the Cowboys. I don't like getting there. There's nothing to talk to them about. They're a terrible organization. They're a terrible team, and that's that. The Eagles has the Commanders. Oh, that's going to be an awesome game. Oh, yeah, I already talked about that. It's going to be a Thursday Night Football. That's going to be a phenomenal game to watch. And then we got the Texans and the Cowboys, and who cares about that game? So let's move on. And then we got the Cardinals and the Jets. I said the Jets was going to lose to the Cardinals 23-24. I gave the Jets way too many points. I believed in their offense way too much. And I guess obviously I believed in a little bit of Aaron Rodgers a little bit too much for this game. And I'm not surprised by the losses on the Jets. I wasn't big on the Jets at all. I didn't think Aaron Rodgers was going to look this bad though. But he's bad, and he needs to retire. He doesn't need to play anymore. He needs to retire by the end of this season and let it go. He's done. And he will never be a top 5 quarterback of all time. He'll be a Hall of Famer. Never be a top 5 quarterback of all time. Maybe top 10 of all time. That's it. He's done. And if he keeps playing, he's going to keep ruining his legacy. So, and yeah, we should definitely take Arizona serious. We should. Like I said before, I said it like a few videos back, I said a few weeks back that the Arizona Cardinals are actually a good team, but they're very inconsistent. I was like, you don't know which Cardinals team you're going to get. Now they're starting to play very consistent football, and they started with them beating us. They are playing consistently throughout. Cardinals is something to look out for, man. So, NFC is not going to be as easy for the Lions. NFC is looking very scary. They were expected to have a good offense, but their defense is what's shocking. Their defense is starting to pick up. The Cardinals is playing tough, hard-nosed football, and then they got that monster at running back at James Conner. I love watching James Conner play. I love James Conner. He's a great running back. So the Cardinals are on a 4-game winning streak, and Arizona has allowed only a touchdown in one of those contests. That is just crazy. And I believe that defense is being led by safety Budda Baker. Budda Baker's a beast. Always has been. And these defenses is becoming one of the toughest defenses to play against. So Kyler Murray is playing pretty good. Kyler Murray is playing all right. He's playing pretty solid. Murray carved up the Jets, completing a 22 of 24 passing yards. 22 of 24, which is awesome, for 266 yards and a touchdown. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride, those are his weapons. Played very well for him, playing great. And that's that. I don't want to talk too much about this game because I don't want to talk too much about the Jets. But, the Jets is terrible organization. Aaron Rodgers threw for 84 yards on 4.2 yards per attempt. Before fourth quarter garbage time, the defense allowed 7.1 yards per play and 4 red zone conversions and 5 trips. It is an utter failure. That starts with the owner, Woody Johnson. Like I said, They are a terribly ran organization. Terrible. And I hope it continues because I don't like what they did to Robert Saleh. The Jets has a bye, thank God. No, the Jets do not have a bye. The Cardinals do. The Jets play the Colts next week. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not looking forward to that game. I don't think anybody is. So let's move on. We got. All right, that was all those games. That was the morning and afternoon games. I say morning, I mean Pacific time. Sunday Night Football, Lions, Texans. I said the Lions was going to beat the Texans 34-28. I was right about the win. A little bit wrong about the score. A little bit off. Yeah, the Lions beat the Texans 26-23. A lot of people said the Lions should have lost this game. But, hey, if you got turnovers, man, and you can't capitalize on them, I'm not going to say they should have lost. That's still on the other team. You're not executing. So, no, the Lions should not have lost. The Chiefs should not have lost. Football is played in all phases, and it's played all the way through. So hey, they found a way to win. Jared Goff played god awful, 5 interceptions. That is terrible. And that's on the Texans, man. If you force a quarterback to throw 5 picks and you can't win, you deserve to lose, man. You deserve to lose. That's bad. That's bad on the team, man. That's bad on the team. And that just shows how resilient and how great of a team the Lions are. How deep of a team the Lions are. I mean, Houston couldn't take advantage on those gifts that was given to them, man. So, hey, it was the same thing with the Chargers when they lost to the freaking Jaguars in the playoffs. I think we recorded, 6 picks? We 27-0, and we let the Jaguars just come back and score on us? And then everybody blamed that on Justin Herbert? I didn't hear not one person. I heard a couple, but not enough people talk about it was, what's up with our coach. And I love DeMeco Ryans, so I have to put this on DeMeco Ryans a little bit, and some on C.J. Stroud, because C.J. Stroud won't capitalize on those picks. But come on, man, you got to capitalize on that, and you're playing at home. Come on. This is evidence for the Lions that they have a huge margin for error, even against good teams. So, Houston, like I said before, it's almost time to hit the panic button. I think it is time to hit the panic button because their playoff season could be in jeopardy. Detroit, they have a pretty tough defense, but I'm a little concerned about their defense still. I don't think that Detroit's going to go so deep in the playoffs as everybody think they are because of their defense. Maybe their defense can pick it up a little bit. If their defense can pick it up, get in a little second gear, I think they can make a run for it. I believe they can. So, we'll see, man. We'll see. Okay. And Zadarius Smith, he's coming off. He's going to be playing soon. So I think he's going to be playing next week. He didn't play this game, so we'll see. So let's see here. So the Jaguars, the Lions got the Jags, and the Texans got the Cowboys. All right, so that's pretty much it, and then we'll talk more Monday Night Football tonight. I'll do my Monday Night recap tonight. I think it was the Rams and the Dolphins. I think that's playing tonight. So let's see here. I think it's the Rams and Dolphins. Let me see. Yeah, it has to be the Rams and Dolphins. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to see who's playing tonight. Let's see. Yeah, Rams and Dolphins. Okay. I just wanted to be for sure. I didn't want to give out wrong information. Yeah, so we got the Rams and Dolphins tonight. So, hey, it's going to be kind of a freaking... That's going to be an entertaining game. I predicted the Dolphins to lose. I can't remember what was the score, but I did predict the Dolphins to lose. They are going to lose this game. I don't see the Rams losing this game, and I did predict the Rams to win their division. The Rams will be in the playoffs. So, yeah, man, the NFC is going to be it's going to be an exciting playoff run, man. A lot of teams in the NFC are really good. I mean, we got the Lions, we got the Bucks. Well, not Bucks. We got the Lions, we got the Niners now starting to pick up. We got the Rams, that's going to be a sleeper. We got the Cardinals. We got some good NFC teams, man. We got some good NFC teams to look out for real. AFC does too, but NFC got more. You got the Eagles. I mean, all those teams can make a run, man. All those teams can make a run. All of them has really good defenses, really good running games, really good quarterback play. Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, good coaches outside of the Eagles. See, some of these teams, I think what concerns me about the Lions is their defense. Or what concerns me about the Eagles is their coach. You see what I'm saying? So the 49ers is a bit more balanced in all of them, but the 49ers, they make it to the Super Bowl. They may win. They're not going to win if they play against the Chargers. And Chargers, I'm saying the Chargers going to the Super Bowl. So, but if they're not going to win if they go against the Chargers or the Chiefs, so but any other AFC team, they'll win. But I don't see any other AFC team going to the Super Bowl outside of the Chargers and the Chiefs. So we'll see about that. I'll have to look deeper into it. But anyway, let's end it on that note. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back tonight later on after Monday Night Football for the Monday Night recap. And yeah, and all day. Take care.